Welcome to the Genius Solutions Sending Files to Profit Recovery in eTHOMAS video. This video will detail running the Profit Recovery module, selecting the patients that you want to send to Profit Recovery, creating the start files, and creating the stop files. First, we will discuss where to find the Profit Recovery Patient module and running it for the first time. If you haven't had your initial training on the Profit Recovery module, I encourage you to call Genius Solutions and set an appointment as soon as possible. To launch the Profit Recovery module, click on the Billing tab. Go down the left side down to Profit Recovering PAT. The module will run immediately. When the module runs, all the patients are selected by this check mark to be sent over in the file. If you want to clear all the check marks, you can click on the Clear All button. If you want to select all the patients, you can click on the Select All button. If you want to just choose specific patients not to send, you can just uncheck their boxes. There may be times when you want to research the patients before you decide whether you want to send them to Profit Recovery or not. In those times, you can create a report by clicking on this R. Here is an example of the report that can be ran. It includes the account number, the patient's name, the cash balance, how many days old the balance is, the last pay date against the balance, and the last date of service that it were paid against, the doctor, and the location. Once you're sure that you've selected all the patients that you want to send to Profit Recovery, then you want to create the file. You do that by clicking on the Create File button. When the file is created, a report generates that shows all the patients that are sent over in that file. It also shows you the path to where that file is stored. It's a good idea to print this report out and keep it for your records. Once you close the report, the data center will either pop up like it did here, or it will appear in the taskbar at the bottom of the screen. In this instance, this is the first time a file has been sent from this client. You can see here that it's called a start file. It's followed by the date. The start file contains patients that are being sent over to Profit Recovery for the first time. There's also a stop file, which we'll discuss later. It is now time to actually send the file. You send the file simply by clicking on this Send button. A confirmation will come up after the file has been sent. Choose Yes to see the confirmation. When the confirmation comes up, print it out. Keep it for your records. Then choose Files are up to date. It'll ask you if you want to send another file. In this case, we don't want to. Say no. And you can then close this. Today we've gone over how to run the Profit Recovery Patient module, how to select and deselect patients, how to run a report of the patients that you can select or deselect, how to create the file, how to print a report of the patients that you did send to Profit Recovery, how to send the file, and how to print the confirmation that the file was sent. Now let's assume that it's been a week since you sent the first file and there have been payments against these Profit Recovery accounts. When payments are made against the Profit Recovery accounts, the system not only creates a start file, but it also creates a stop file. The payments recorded on the stop file are sent to TransWorld and then deducted from the balance due. Now let's create our second file. Again, we are assuming that this is a week later and there have been payments applied to the profit recovery accounts. Just as we did earlier, we'll go to the Billing tab, go down the left-hand side to Profit Recovery Patient, and the module will run automatically. As you see, we have one person to add to our start file. Let's assume in this case the office does not want to send this patient to profit recovery at this time, so we deselect it. Then we still go over to the Create File button and click here to do a Create File. A stop file is then generated, and this report is generated to tell you what's in the stop file. These two patients have made payments towards their profit recovery balance, and this is going to be then sent to TransWorld for them to record. Notice the file name. It's called a stop file, and it also has today's date included in the name. This file is a file with the patients that have actually made payments towards their profit recovery. It's sent to TransWorld, and they deduct the payment from the current balance at TransWorld. You should print this report for your records and then close it on this door. The next thing that will happen is the data center will either pop up or it will appear at the bottom on the taskbar. In this case, it popped up. And your file is already loaded in the file box, and it says Send to Other. At this point, all you have to do is click Send. You see it will be encrypted and then sent. After your file is sent, this screen will pop up, telling you that it was successful and asking you if you want to view the confirmation sheet. Click on Yes. The confirmation sheet will come up in this notepad. It'll give you the details of the send, and you should print this for your records. There'll be another pop-up telling you that your files are up to date. All you do is click OK. After you click OK, another pop-up will come up and ask you if you want to send another file. In some cases, there'll be two files. In this case, there was only one file because we didn't send the start file. It's very important that you remember, if you create a start file and a stop file, you want to send a start file and a stop file. There'll be two separate files. You'll either send them in the same data center, or two data centers will open up and you'll send one in each. In this case, again, we've only sent this one file, so we can say yes to this. At this point, you close your data center, and you've completed your send. Thank you for attending our video. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to run the Profit Recovery Patient module, create the start file, creating the stop file, and sending both the start and stop file.